The Nagakiba with Flaming Strike is almost certainly the solution to your problem, especially if that problem happens to be incinerating the Max New Game Plus Dragon Barrow avatar in 25 seconds or less. First, let's talk about the longest katana in the game. The Nagakiba is slightly longer than the Hand of Millennia and is infusible. This means you can slap on nearly any ash that you wish. The bleed buildup and the katana moveset make this weapon great no matter what ash you put on it. The only notable moveset difference is the two-handed charged R2 being a thrusting move. On weapons like the Uchi, the two-handed R2 is a slash, while the one-handed is a thrust. Now, Flaming Strike is the ash I ran with, and I am disappointed that it took me this long to use it. While I've been invaded a couple times with this move, I didn't know exactly how well it would perform in PvE. I had a hunch it would be good. I was incorrect in that assumption because it was great. Flaming Strike has two parts to the move. The first button press has your character throw flames a short range in front of them. The move also has a marvelous R2 follow-up that gives your weapon a fire buff for 40 seconds. This, paired with a flame art affinity, gives you plenty of fire damage. We can easily buff said fire damage with the Flame Shroud and Cracked Tear, Golden Vow, Flame Grant Me Strength, and the Ash of War itself. With these buffs alone, we can get 1157 attack rating on a katana for almost 40 seconds. As long as your enemies aren't highly fire resistant, you'll be finishing fights rather quickly. Two talismans that go rather well with this build are the Shard of Alexander and the Old Lord's Talisman. The Shard because the ash is very strong and you'll want to use it frequently. The Old Lord's Talisman because you'll want your Flame Grant Me Strength buff to be active as much as possible. Even with all these buffs, the high health, defense, and reduced poise damage of Max New Game Plus will keep most bosses alive for longer than 30 seconds. Extending this buff by a whole 30% had a noticeable effect on my run. For my stats, I had 60 Vigor, 18 Mind, a hefty 40 Endurance to Light Roll, 12 Strength to 2 Hand to 18, 22 Dex, and 60 Faith. Since this is what the Flame Art fire damage scales off of. This is the last non-unique katana I've done a video on. And now only two somber weapons remain, Moonveil and Rivers of Blood. These weapons have been overused to death, and I'm not planning on using them anytime soon. So perhaps we'll get a nice new katana to use in the DLC. Frayed blade, please.